Today we have an amazing guest to interview. His name is GIYOH, and he's also known as Mr. Infinity. Or
Shit's getting weird.
Part Infinity. I'm glad to bring him on today. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. So for those of us that don't know you and don't know your story, go ahead and tell us about how you became a TikToker.
What motivated me? I don't think I had a motivation, man. Like, I always try to tell people, like, this was an accident. Like, I didn't plan out to go and create like something like this. I didn't. I just, it all kind of happened during the pandemic. Everybody was in their houses. We were all at home. I had gotten back from overseas and you know, I was just at home and I started recording videos on TikTok. Like, if you go back to, I don't know, it's super far now. It's like 2 years ago. But if you go, my very first video had nothing to do with anything. It was just like a funny video that I just kind of posted, and it was nothing. And then, you know, with all the crazy stuff that were happening during the pandemic and things like that, I started to talk about that because a lot of stuff to me, it was just like, it was weird. A lot of stuff was like awkward. We were going through a very weird time. The pandemic was a weird time for everybody.
Yeah.
So I started to talk about certain things, and then people started to listen, and then traction, and then here we are. It's the weirdest thing.
Has there ever been any specific topic that you've been associated yourself to?
I cover many topics. Like, initially, exactly, when I first started, it was primarily just talking about all the weird stuff that was going on with the pandemic. Like, that was the primary thing. And, so I talked about that for a little while, but I also talked about like a lot of other things. Like, I look now at my content. Like, I just hit 900,000 followers on TikTok.
Wow.
So I'm almost 1 million, kind of getting there. And I look back now and I look at like the many different people that are following me for many different things that I've done. Like, I've had viral videos that were just pure humor. I've had viral videos of like things, you know, things that are important we talk about. Viral videos of like just a bunch of different topics. So it's different. That's why when you watch my videos, it's like, so people always ask me like, which way are you trying to go here? I'm not trying to go any kind of way. I'm just making content based off of like what I feel. I see something, it resonates with me, or I feel like it'll resonate with other people, and then I either make a humorous skit or I just talk about it with, you know, people that are following.
Do you find it positive to engage with your TikTok audience, whether you're in the comment section or doing a live?
Oh yeah. I think it's, I don't know if other like quote unquote influencers feel this too, but it's like, you have to engage with your audience, because without your audience, you're kind of nothing. You know what I mean? If people didn't hit the follow button, if people didn't engage with your content, you just be kind of talking into a phone, and you wouldn't be really talking to anybody. In a sense, nobody's listening. So yeah, I try my best to engage. If I make a video, I'll go through and I'll read the comments and I'll comment to people. You know, like for example, later on today, I actually have a Zoom call with another person, like a random person that just commented something, and I was like, hey, would you like to have a conversation? Because it felt like they wanted to talk more about it. And I was like, instead of talking in the comments, I actually want to pick your brain on why you think the way you think. Why do you think in this? Why do you think? Yeah, the way you think. So I wanted to know. So I like engaging, and then it lets people know, like, I'm not just on here just. I'm being myself. I'm being me, and who I am is I like talking to people. I like conversing with people, and if I can engage with you in whether in the comments, whether in a phone call, whether in a private message or something, yeah, I'm all down.
That's it. Which is you engage with the audience directly, and I can see that in the comments. You know, you have millions of people that are there listening, tuning in, and thousands of them respond to you, and you respond back to them, and that is direct connection in communications with people that value you and value what you're doing. So I think it's amazing that people can have that ability to reach out to an influencer. And not be like back in the day where, you know, we had a TV, you sit in front of it. There's nothing you're going to say to that TV that's going to reach to that influencer or that person. So it's just beautiful that you can do that now, that two-way communication. So GIYOH, tell me, what's the best thing about social media in comparison to previous media communications? What's the difference for you?
Yeah, that's the good thing about like social media. is you can communicate with them. Like with TV, like you said, you turn on TV, you watch them, and I think that was like the aura of like back in the day, celebrities were so like because you could never, they were so unobtainable. You never be able to see them or whatever the case may be.
I think
like now, I see celebrities on TikTok and they're on TikTok live engaging and stuff, and that's the power of what social media has brought.
I think you nailed it. It's that ability to reach back out and communicate. And you're right. I saw one. I was a kid. I saw him. He was an actor, and he was engaging, and people were talking to him, and he was responding, which is so odd because from an era that I come from, where you're just looking at the TV, there's no way. I would stand next to the TV and imitate the actors, and I would try to stand there and see if he could see me acting like him, right? And it was hilarious. No, they would not. Obviously, they didn't know that, but now you can. And so that's a huge leap forward in communications.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So tell me, GIYOH, when have you had like a memorable moment that you remember with someone on TikTok, either in session or on a comment section? Have you ever had that interaction with individuals?
Oh yeah, there's a couple, man. There's a couple actually other creators on TikTok and stuff like that on social media. One of the guys, Justin Danger. Justin may not even remember this, but I might tag him in this way if you do post it. But I was in a live one day. This had to be like a year and a half or so ago. I was in a live one day, just kind of chatting it up and chopping it up, and he popped in there, and he's like, man, I love your content, stuff like that. And his page had just recently just blew up at a catastrophic level. Like he has like 6 million followers type deal. And I remember he popped in there and he was talking to me. I think I was talking about like at that time my content was kind of stagnant. Not my content, just my page wasn't growing for whatever reason.
Right.
And
it's the algorithm holding back.
Yeah. And he popped in there and he was kind of chopping it up and he was like, yeah, man, just stay consistent kind of deal. He's like, stay consistent because you never know. Stay consistent because you never know. I remember he just said that, and it was dope. And I was just, ever since then, I was just like, whether people hear me or don't hear me or whatever the case may be, until things start blowing up again or until whatever happens, just stay consistent and keep posting. Not because you want people to follow, but like do it because you like expressing your creativity. You like getting, your voice heard and people can relate to it, so on and so forth. Use the platform for what it is kind of deal. And I did that, and, recently it's kind of weird, man. It's the weirdest thing. I just a couple of videos blew the hell up, and and then it's like back on that kind of rise again. And there's that. There's another guy named Millennial Spike. I don't know if you know what that is, Millennial Spike.
I'll have to look him up, I promise.
He's pretty dope. He reached out to me and he was like, hey man, your content is inspiring. You inspired me to start making content and things like that. And he started making content and got like 200-something thousand followers. And his mindset's almost similar to mine in the way he talks about things and engages with people and starts conversation and this, that, and the third. So, I always talk with him and it's always like, it's always good vibes anytime he's around as well. So
that's amazing. I always feel like when you can always learn something else from another TikToker. Like once you think you kind of understood how the process goes, you go through this quantifiable encyclopedia of human beings, and you just find yourself mesmerized on all the different types and mindsets that are out there that have so much to offer. The creative ones, the ones who paint, the ones who draw, the ones who create they're building metal things. I'll even go into the fun part of saying even the AI folks. I'm sure you've very recently seen a lot of people going AI.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my goodness. I've seen a lot of people just say, listen, people, do not concern yourselves with what I'm doing. I'm trying to make a living. And I think it's hilarious to see people. But you know what? That's what, the art, the ability to express is there. And the ability to share is there, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
it's so beautiful. So I gotta ask you a real interesting question. It's not personal, but I think you made a TikTok of it. So GIYOH, let me see if I get this right. Last couple of videos I've been watching, I've been seeing you speaking Spanish, and I was wondering, did you learn Spanish or are you a native Spanish speaker? How's that?
Listen, I failed high school. I failed Spanish in college, and I ended up living in South America for a little while. And I think just through a simulation, I picked it up. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. Even till today, I'll be like, it still kind of blows my mind a little bit, like how I can speak it. I don't know. It's very weird. But I lived in Peru for a little while. That's where I initially learned it. Lived in Peru for a little while, and just picked it up just from talking to people and learning, and it's crazy.
So how long were you down there in Peru?
About a little bit over 8 months. Yeah, a little over 8 months. 8 months. Yeah.
So you picked it up fairly quickly.
I did, and again, till this day, I do not know how I did it. I can't. The only explanation is through just being there, and you're almost you're not forced, but like you're in a country that not a lot of people speak English. Correct. So if you want to eat, if you want to get around, if you want to do certain things, you got to learn it. And I like traveling and seeing other cultures, so I'm always down to try to learn, people's culture. And I'm from West Africa, Cameroon, so I'm always trying to share my culture too. I share my culture with them. They share their culture with me, and then I was able to pick up Spanish and things like that. So,
well, sir, let me tell you, you speak Spanish like a pro. Coming from a Spanish speaker, porque yo también hablo español. Where's the next step for your career as a TikToker or just in general?
So I had a different career before. I played professional basketball for about 10 years.
Nice.
And then once like that kind of, I retired. Once that kind of ended, I've always wanted to be like, I love being creative. I love just like creativity flows. It's weird. I constantly have ideas all the time, just kind of flowing. And so I've always wanted to become an actor. Always wanted to become a voice actor. I always wanted to dive into that realm. I couldn't do it before because, of course, I was traveling and playing ball and stuff like that. And last year, I want to say beginning of last year, I just told myself, all right, like, let's just do it. I'm gonna start voice acting. I'm gonna start acting, going to classes, and I'm gonna do the damn thing. So I started doing that, and a year later, I just signed with the manager. I have a meeting actually tomorrow with a commercial agent. A lot of things are kind of happening right now. They're moving and grooving, and I'm excited because I put in the work, and I feel like I don't know how to explain. I'm excited for what's about to happen. So yeah, it's 100% scary, but it's like worth it. Scary. It's like we have such a small time on this earth, man, and it's like, do you want to, I don't want to get dark, but
no, it's okay.
You're like, at your deathbed, do you want to sit back and say like, man, I wish I would have done something, and even just like tried. Trying is still something. Like, even if you don't make it, or the case be, at least I put in the effort and I tried. It wasn't a thing where I was like, oh, I'm not going to do it because of fear. I'm not going to do it because of this. Like, I want to go do it because, number one, I told myself I was going to go do it, and I contract with me and myself.
Yeah.
To do the things that I love, to do the things that fulfill me. Somebody told me something a long time ago, and not even a long time ago, maybe like 5 years ago. They told me, they were like, if you really truly want to be happy in life, don't just do one thing. The same way we diversify our money, we should diversify our happiness. And I was like, yeah, it made so much sense to me, because I was like, oh yeah, you're totally right. A lot of people just do one thing, and it's like, and you're gonna eventually either get bored, or you're gonna, whatever the case may be, of that one thing.
Yep.
Diversify your happiness, so you have a bunch of these little things that you're doing that fulfill you in different ways. So we're on this earth for a short amount of time, and people should do whatever they want to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody. You do whatever you want to do that makes you happy, and I'm always rooting on people that do that, because I understand how hard it is. I know how hard it is. It's tough.
It's difficult. So, I'm happy to know that while you're succeeding, I was here to interview you before CNN.
It keeps us young, we dream and we fight for something. It keeps us, working towards stuff. Yeah. I love it.
I love it too, and I'm happy that we met, that you've given me the opportunity to share with you. And most importantly, I know that you're just going to continue to move on forward, and whether it's this platform or other platforms. But I totally wish you the total sum of success that your dreams are accounting for. So with that, I just wanted to say thanks for coming on to to the Just Rio show. I don't know, call it Just Rio show. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm here. We're sharing. That's it. Thank you so much for coming and visiting my channel. I can't wait to see you the next time, and I can't wait to report back and see what you have going on next. And you're always welcome back. Thank you so much, GIYOH.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man.
All right, take care.
It's getting weird. Part infinity.